Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom, I'm the crypto investor, and I wanted to take a little look around the markets with you as we had our breakout, which was a delight to see. So we were looking at Bitcoin making a series of lower highs. So we had these lower highs, which is a bearish sign, it's a continuation pattern, and it broke out of it. I was concerned that we might be in here for a few more weeks or so, but we have the breakout. And the news catalyst was, of course, that Tesla have agreed to start accepting payments for Teslas in Bitcoin, so long as 50% of the mining of those Bitcoins is renewable energy. And that was all we needed. We had the catalyst, and we've since broken up, and we continue to move upwards. Let's just drill down to a lower time frame and discuss kind of what this means and what you should be doing. So, many people that I've spoken to got onto the sidelines. They sold their stacks, which is not something I recommend doing. I prefer to remain invested in the market. I always say that time in the market is better than timing the market. And if you choose to sell with the intention of buying back in again at a lower price, you're trading. And I spend too much time looking at these charts, and I wouldn't trust myself to really be trading these markets. It's an extremely challenging market to trade, so I don't try to time these markets. I will take profit as and when I feel we're at the top of a cycle move, and I will continue to take a dollar cost averaging out of my position. But overall, I remain 90% of my portfolio in a hodling sense. So anyhow, we got the break, thank goodness. Lovely to see. And Bitcoin made this decisive move up. We came back and tested this trend line which I had in play, which goes all the way back from a year ago. And we found support along there, and we're continuing to move up. Now, the next real test for Bitcoin comes in at around just under 43,000. And I'll tell you why this is interesting. So if we look at this on the slightly longer time frame, you can see that this is the same as the consolidation pattern which we saw back here in January. And so this is where we need to clear next for Bitcoin to make its next move. And if we do clear it, we may get a very explosive move. And I'll show you why. We have a record number of shorts right now placed on Bitcoin. So these are people that thought for certain that we were breaking 30,000 and the next stop was 20,000. Now, they are currently, in a negative position, and they're, putting on more shorts to cover their position, and so we're getting this massive short spike. But there becomes a point where they will have to give up and they become insolvent on their position, and that's when they effectively have to buy back Bitcoin, and that creates a short squeeze. And so if we get a short squeeze and all these positions are liquidated, then we get a big jump in price. And the chances are that those stop losses where people are putting their short stop loss is likely just above this kind of line here. So let's say 43,000 or so. So if we get up here, we'll start seeing those shorts liquidated, and we may see Bitcoin make quite a big move up to 48,000 or so when we'll come in and coincide with this overhead trend line I have here. So really could get quite exciting, quite interesting. And as of today, we have Michael Saylor, MicroStrategies. Michael's got $500 million of money to spend on Bitcoin that he just got from his bond sales. The money's not due until 2028, and we know it's going on Bitcoin. So there's another reason the market is bid, and this could continue to push us up. So really exciting to see where this goes. And, with these shorts, some people would look at this and say, well, that's alarming that we have so many shorts, the most shorts that we've had on the market really for 2 years. But, if you get so many people doing one thing, it generally means the opposite will happen. The analogy people always use is everyone goes onto the one side of the boat flips. And so it's looking likely that that's what's going to happen. Hopefully it will. So I'm anticipating that short squeeze as and when the price gets up around here. And, it may be just above this high that was put in place back in January. We start to see them, and then the boat will start tipping. So watch this space. looking at Bitcoin versus Ethereum, Bitcoin is getting all of the limelight right now. We have more and more countries potentially interested in adopting Bitcoin. They also have new technologies coming out. Is it Rootstock? I've forgotten the name for my video, which is basically going to be adding smart contracts to Bitcoin and allowing it to start to implement things like DeFi on Bitcoin. So it's the most major upgrade to Bitcoin since 2017, I believe, and it will, it makes it a more appealing asset. And so Bitcoin's getting a lot of the positive spin right now, but just you wait. I think once we see EIP 1559 roll out with Ether, as well as the layer 2 solutions dropping down the price of gas significantly, and then 2.0 to boot, I think we see Ether move a lot further up. We're just coming into this support line that we found support here a couple of days ago. We've come in for a second test of it. It's holding for the time being. This is Ether versus Bitcoin. And so, it remains to be seen if we can hold here and continue our upward trajectory. I would expect so. Ether's starting to feel a bit cheaper compared to Bitcoin right now. Just move this moon phase out of the way, and just looking at the total market cap of crypto. There we go. And, alts are still yet to really catch much of a breather. They are a little bit, but they're still lagging behind. I think confidence has to come back into the market. That confidence goes into Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few of the other blue chips. DOT having a good day today on the back of being listed on Coinbase. And then you'll see that, that classic pyramid of money flowing down, the champagne pyramid, which we see at weddings when you pour the champagne in the Bitcoin glass and it comes down into the Ethereum and alts and such. And so we have to, we build that foundation again in the blue chips, and then we'll see it flow into alts in time. But overall, we're basically consolidating sideways, it's the total market cap needs to look at clearing 1.8 trillion before we can expect this to start moving up further. One last thing I wanted to look at is the total dominance of Bitcoin. And you can see that it continues to strengthen somewhat. We are up to 45.7%. I think what we're going to see, here we go, I've drawn it on here, is something like this, where we're basically going to move sideways. I think this is actually almost going to be like, so I used an inverse here the other day. If you invert this, we can effectively look at alt dominance. And I think what we're going to see is like effectively a bull flag, sorry. We're going to be sideways, and then eventually we're going to break out from this. So I think that's what you're going to kind of see for the next few months or so. And then we'll see Bitcoin's dominance drop probably undoubtedly below what we saw in that Cambrian explosion of 2017 when all the alts came to life. We now have a much more mature alt market with a much more, we have DeFi and NFTs, for example. So I think we'll see, this is the previous all-time high for Bitcoin's dominance. I think we see this kind of formation and it taken out later on in the cycle. So things are looking good. Things are looking a bit more positive. I hope you're feeling the optimism too. And if you've had any use out of this, please do like and subscribe. And also, just to clarify that this does not constitute financial advice. I am just a guy on the internet trying to help you out. All right, speak to you soon. All the best.